Let's see if we can navigate our way through all three of them here. Welcome back, friends, to the shop. In today's video, you guys get to help me put the Q-Tac fire skid on the awesome all-terrain independent suspension Q-Tac run flat tire 12-ply trailer. Let's go take a look at that now, and then we'll put it all together and see how she goes. This fire skid unit, last year we used successfully in the back of the Honda Pioneer, but the Honda being only a 700, it was a little bit too heavy, and it filled up the whole back, so we didn't have room for any tools or anything. So the solution, when I contacted the folks at Q-Tac, we talked about this a little bit, and they recommended their new all-terrain off-road trailer. That solves all the problem. This is a brilliant little trailer. Look at the payload, 2,000 GVWR. 1,600 pounds you can put on top of this. It weighs about 400 as it is. Really cool, same lug pattern at the tires, wheels, everything the same size as the quad. So if you got in an emergency, you would be able to swap back and forth. That's really, really awesome. Run flat 12-ply. Man, that's nice. Independent suspension. The suspension, these are spline shafts here, and there's some sort of like a really dense hard rubber in there, which acts as suspension. So there are no traditional springs, and so you're not tied to the other axle. So one axle can operate independent as the other, so they can roll and really move over terrain. And you could adjust the height of it too. Just by loosening this clamp, you could change those spline positions and raise it up, which is kind of cool. Something you can play with. Box welded, beautifully made. Jacks on the front and the rear. Really clever jacks that are simple to use. They just pull and drop down out of the way. I'm super excited.
25 to 32. I'm going to try this as you definitely not on this side of the pole, it's on the south side. 32, I think I've got movement down there on the north side of the culvert by the brush.
Well, that couldn't be any easier. I put the skid on with a hose reel on the back, pull it off the back quite easily without crawling over anything. And then all of the controls and start on the left side of the driver's side. So that works out perfectly. I think my original placement of the skid is too far forward, which is going to make the tongue really heavy. Here is the center of the tank. Here you can see is the center of the trailer. So about a 1/2 inch, but that 1/2 inch could mean several pounds. That's perfectly balanced right now. I leveled the hitch, so we're looking pretty good here. I'll do a time lapse here so we can watch how much everything sags when we put the 85 gallons in the skid. All right, let's see how she does, then we'll take it out for a drive. Are you guys ready to do some hardcore off-road testing? So I checked all of the weight specs for the Pioneer 700. It has a payload capacity of 1,000 pounds. You can put in the bed, a towing capacity of 1,500 pounds. Believe it or not, the whole trailer wet comes in at about 100 pounds underneath that capacity at 1,400 pounds, right? We have 400 for the skid, 700 for the water, 400 for the trailer, which comes out to 1,400. So it should be within spec here. It's a little bit high on the hitch here, and I was gonna lower it, but I thought, man, by the time we throw in a chainsaw, a couple hand tools, our wildland packs, and some water and food and such, it'll level it out. So I'm gonna leave it just like it is. Let's see how well it does on some really uneven ground here. So we've got these big culvert holes. This is challenging just for the vehicles by themselves without a trailer with 800 pounds of water on it. see if we can navigate our way through all three of them here. Okay, let's go out through the field and I'll give my impression of just how it feels, just the weight of it. Power-wise, what it takes to get the Honda up and going, it's about the same as if I had 4 men in it. You know, let's say 200 pounds plus gear, you know, 220, 250, so a total of 1,000 pounds or so is about what it feels like. But once you get it up and moving, the ride is actually it's better. It's not so choppy in the back. It's definitely smoothing it out. But picking it up here to about 15 miles an hour through just, you know, rough old field, it feels excellent. It just feels excellent. It is excellent. It is absolutely excellent. And it solves so many problems for me. I hate tying up, the fire seasons are long, right? I hate tying up the back of a truck with a skid unit. And most of them are so big that you have to have a forklift to take them in and out. And I mean, it's just such a pain. To have this set up, filled up, 100% ready to go, that you can hook on with any trailer ball, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And I have a little bit of payload left. I'm so inspired by these tires. I got to looking into these tires. These are DWT. These are 12-ply run flat tires designed for the U.S. military. The military, Special Forces, uses UTVs in their missions, and they have had a tire spec'd out that will run flat up to 30, 40, 50 miles under pretty much any speed, and that's what these are. So the reason why I'm using Mrs. W's Honda instead of mine is it has a lot less weight in it. It doesn't have those rear seats. It doesn't have the top, and it doesn't have the windshield, and it's noticeable. So it has more power, and that's probably what I'll use for this. But I've ordered these tires, a set of these, for one of the Pioneers, because when come fire season, that's what I want. I don't want these crummy 4-ply, which I have a flat every 10 days or so. I'll run these guys, and problem solved. I was thinking, you know, how I was going to carry a spare and such, but with run flats, the exact same tires all the way across here, that's what I'm going to do. So we'll get those on, and I'll show you how those work when they come in. But so far so good. Excellent trailer. What a sweet combination this would be for overlander types that wanted, if you had a UTV and you like to, you know, do your cooking and your overland trailer, this would be a great platform. And, you know, at that 2,000-pound GVW, that's awesome for these little guys, especially with their great wheel tire package on it. That's it. That's my review and of the Q-Tac Fire Skid Trailer. If you're in the urban interface, this unit right here, you couldn't do better. I mean, it's absolutely the perfect fire suppression setup for the professional homeowner that lives in the urban interface. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers. We'll see you all on the next video.